What's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and gab about last week's games, this week's games, and everything in between. You can find us on Rumble, YouTube, and Spotify, so go please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Nathan, Mr. 9 out of 9, Norman, joined, as always, by the second best podcaster in the world, Daniel, Big Daddy Reedy. How you going, mate?
Don't disturb me while I'm cleaning my room.
Also joining us, all the way from the Gold Coast. If 3 people having sex was a threesome, and 2 people having sex is a twosome, this man is handsome. It's Ryan Wheels Fenton. How you going, mate?
G'day, fellas. How we going?
Good, mate.
Good, thank you.
That's
Good.
all right. That's all right.
Just doing a little maths.
That's it. And rounding out the quartet this week, more powerful than a locomotive, faster than a speeding bullet, can leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's the man of steel, Steelo. How you going, mate?
Oh, beautiful, Nathan. Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting week of footy, but yeah, feeling all right. Feeling pretty interested to get into tonight's discussions.
No, good to hear.
But yes.
Pretty crazy round. The 3 of the top 4 teams got defeated this weekend too, fellas.
Oh, thank
Crazy.
Was it?
Quite competition.
It was a bit of a tipster's nightmare this week, wasn't it?
Depends who you were.
Oh yeah.
Depends who you were.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You there, Nathan?
We get somebody that fell apart very badly in the test, but we'll get to that.
I think I managed to scramble through alright, just with a nice 6. I was happy with that.
Yeah, hey, look, some people are on track for an 8, but
Yes, the D's Carlton game early was a bit of a one for real 50-50 split for tips, wasn't it? But the people that tipped Carlton were pretty happy with themselves, with obviously Geelong, probably most people tipping Geelong.
Not that many people tip Carlton.
And then Sydney Fremantle, I reckon, being the other real 50-50 split. But then after that, the round was...
Hawks and... Wait, Carlton-Melbourne was not a 50-50 split. It was dominated Melbourne, mate.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot, yeah.
And then, you had the Bombers beating the Giants. That was a bit of an upset.
I did tip Bombers last week on the podcast.
Jeez, didn't they play well, the Bombers, too?
Yeah, they did.
Red hot.
I've got for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be wearing the Indigenous jersey on the pod, fellas.
Oh, yeah, it's this one.
It's going to be Sir Doug Nichols round for the next 2 weeks. The AFL's getting around it, so get out there and enjoy that, guys.
You know it.
The next couple of weeks, isn't it?
It's a good initiative and some great Guernseys coming out. I love the Guernseys.
Yeah.
All the artwork, the Indigenous artwork's amazing. So always good to see all the clubs when they come out with their own version and nominate their own artist. It means something special to all those guys. So and yeah, it's always fucking awesome to see the Guernseys.
Yeah. The players love it too, don't they?
Look, Melbourne's Guernsey last year was terrible, I'm sorry. It looked like they had some white substance dripping down their shirt, and it didn't look good. Didn't look good.
Are you talking about Nam?
Sorry?
Are you talking about Nam?
I'm talking about Nam, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They just had these white dots. It was like, you know what that looks like. Why have you done it? Anyway.
It's good. Normally the Indigenous players step up for the round, though, don't they? For the couple of rounds. They love it.
Yeah. That'd be good to watch. Some good players to watch in the competition, though, isn't there? I reckon there's some good comparisons. If we go around for a sec, I'll throw a few at ya. Who would you rather? Isaac Heaney or Butters at the moment?
Say
Oh, I mean, they're both really on top of their game, aren't they?
Ooh, I like me some smooth as butter. I can't believe it's not butter.
You go Butters?
Yeah, definitely.
You go Heaney, Nathan?
Yeah, I'll go Heaney. Heaney's
I can't look past Heaney. I think
Melbourne versus Sydney, Heaney was everywhere.
I think he's my favourite player in the comp at the moment. I mean, Butters is just doing wonders.
And Heaney's a great tackler. Do you think Heaney could tackle Zach Butters?
He might slip out. He might slip through the hands. Is that what you're saying?
Depending on the
he's
situation.
pretty good. He's pretty silky.
It'd be a good matchup when they do match up.
I'd say Butters has had probably a better couple of years, getting the MVP, and he's a bit younger, and I think he's got a bit more leadership involved in him. So
it's a very good answer, actually. I think you weighed that up quite well then, actually. But.
Yeah, Heaney.
I was waiting for you guys to stop talking.
Heaney's better.
Never stop talking.
Alright, well,
sensible.
I don't know. I think with that we can maybe launch
Wait, can I
into
throw another one at you?
last week's games.
I got another juicy
You
one.
got another one?
This is a juicy one. I like this one. I was plotting a few players before, and I was thinking of really even type forward spread players at the moment as well. Maybe Isaac Rankin or Jeremy Cameron. Sorry, not Jeremy Cameron. Cameron from Brisbane. Charlie Cameron.
Far out, yeah.
Jeremy Cameron. You just roll off
You know
the
what I'm
tongue
going to
so
say,
naturally.
don't you? Get
want the
revved up,
Harley?
wheels. You got 2 wheels there at the moment. Yeah, 100%. No, it's pretty good. Yeah, I reckon Charlie. I mean, what do you? Obviously, I'll probably be biased. So,
Well, I was actually looking at this a bit the other way now that Wheels has opened up my thinking a bit, that I'd be going Rankin all the way. I mean, he's got years to come and he's really just starting his journey a bit more than probably Charlie is. And, geez, he's probably as good a player already as well, Isaac. So, I'll be going Isaac.
Isaac Rankin's on the big dollars, though, too.
I'd go Charlie Cameron because Rankin. Don't like him.
would like to see Charlie Cameron improve his kicking though, because it does seem like he's hopefully he hasn't hit the ceiling, because Rankin's definitely got a long way to improve. Sorry to cut you off there, Hippie.
Yeah, Rankin also seems a bit arrogant. I don't know. I feel like he's barking orders when he's out in the field, and it's like, mate, you just got here. Like, who the fuck are you?
Me personally, I'm a bit dirty on Rankin because he left the Suns, so I'm going to go the old motorbike.
We left the Suns, walked into Adelaide, now he's bossing people around like he owns the place.
But I can see why you're answering your question the way you are, Reeves.
Yeah, it's player of the future, I feel.
What, you can't see why I'm answering mine the way I am?
I think yours is
Great topic.
Well, they're very evenly matched players, though, so it's quite a debatable one.
Hey, they're good debates, Reeves. You should do them more often, mate. They're good.
Yeah, I just thought of it, actually.
Bring it back.
Fair enough. Well, with that, we
You
should
really don't know what's coming.
move into last week's games, yeah?
We should.
Yeah, that's
All right. It was Carlton versus Narm. I've already changed the apps. Carlton versus Narm. Melbourne. Carlton 12-5-77. Melbourne 11-10-76. Carlton by 1 point. Peace.
Nathan's disappeared. Where's he gone?
Well, he doesn't like to talk about his team too much, so he liked us to try and do it for him and just be there in spirit for the moment while we talk glory of his side getting beaten by 1 point. I mean, would you really want to sit here and listen to that? I mean...
I know. There was a lot of Melbourne supporters that left by the third quarter.
Yes, he just, maybe there's a smoke haze, maybe he's disappeared, maybe he's gone to the moon and back while we talk about this, but...
What are you doing? Are we doing it, boys?
We're here, we're ready to get into it, because when Carlton rocked up, maybe he's doing what Melbourne did in the first half, and they just didn't rock up. I mean, where were they? I mean, I put on the tally and saw Carlton 5 goals up at quarter time, 2-0, and I could not believe what I was seeing. I actually had to change the channel and change it back to see if maybe it was wrong, but it wasn't. And
wasn't the Melbourne footy we're used to seeing.
yeah, but then by half time, still only 5 goals up, and you knew that they'd steadied, and they definitely didn't let the gates flood anymore. And then what a second half from the D's. I mean, it was just all Melbourne, and you almost feel bad for them that they just didn't pinch it, because Maxi's goal was huge, and another weeks on end now. I'm giving the man a shout out, but shout out to Maxi on the weekend. He played a top game. Honestly, a really top game, and he should get a shout out every time he plays an A grade, an A plus game now. The D's, I mean, honestly, I feel a bit stiffed for him that they put in that gallant second half, and good win to Carlton through having such a big lead. So well played to them, and what a game! I mean, jeez, it was real tense at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Petrarca too, how was he, the great man?
For that last quarter, Melbourne were just coming back with a vengeance, and it was just a matter of if they could get there in time. And there was enough time on the clock, I thought, and it was getting very tense. A lot of the Melbourne supporters were dashing back from the station, running back into the gates.
They don't go to the station, Steelo. They were back at the helipads and the at the Uber Rankses, but yeah. So go Carlton. I did tip them, so I was actually not going to be upset to lose the tip if Melbourne had have come back, and they had plenty of time to come back for like 1 or 2 chances, but
so close in the end.
Carlton hanged on very well too. I mean, some of their stock players, through the middle there, just really held fort for him, and Walsh, probably the biggest note of all. I mean, Cripps, of course, just been huge, and Carlton got the 4 points. Because
it was the first time since the 1940s since Demons were goalless in the first quarter. How's that for stat?
Was it scoreless or goalless?
Goalless.
Yeah, right, because scoreless too. I mean, that's just got to be been a long time, but
that's the Blues doing that to them, no one else. But it's a great game. Yeah, it's a tale of two halves, wasn't it?
We gave them.
They came back good. Tracker hot and few goals, 5 goals, but he tore it up, didn't he?
And that goal towards the end for Petrarca as well. So Petrarca and Gawn kicked the last 2, but couldn't get there.
Our old mate Kerno went down back for the last couple of minutes again.
Yeah, I saw some good footage where they clearly played him a kick up the ground this game. They reckon they're getting him doing a little bit more delivering and trying to get a few more smalls running down. So, anyway, we'll have to end it there. So, we'll move on to the next game. But, top win to Carlton. I mean, they needed that badly too, Carlton, as much as Dees would have loved the 4 points.
I thought that was really smart. It was amazing. Good pick up Wheels, though, before we move on. That was a great pick up because the way they moved Kerno back, just whenever he was needed.
It wasn't back. It was just up the ground more.
And just, that one kick off, filling up the gaps. But it was, just perfectly executed. And so
he's got such a good kick on him.
Shout outs to Michael Voss, I reckon, for making the call. And also,
he's done a few times.
Did he kick any goals on the night, Kerno?
I reckon he would have.
Yeah, he was just doubling back. That's what was amazing. He just seemed to just get back out of nowhere. He's just been in the forward line, and then all of a sudden he's behind the ball.
Yeah, 2 goals, 1. Yeah.
But, he played a really big game, Kerno, and there's some great players on the night. It was a really high quality game of footy, and I tipped Carlton to win, and I gave the margin as 1 point, so I was off to the perfect start.
Great start.
At least these two sides know they got some good games, and they play each other. 6 out of the 8 games have all been decided by under a goal. Pretty close. Close game, close battle.
But footy. Maybe we should move on to the next game if we're all willing.
Yep, Alright, let's move on to the next game. It was Geelong versus Port Adelaide at the GMHBA Stadium. It was Geelong 14-11-95 to Port Adelaide 15-11-101. Port by 6 points. Ryan.
Disappear.
He's not going to disappear.
He can't do it.
He can't disappear.
He doesn't have that power.
I'll do it.
So, anyway, it was a good game by Port Adelaide.
Great effort by Port.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty similar sort of game to Thursday night, wasn't it?
Very, except for the high scoringness.
Yeah, I know. It was Port Adelaide couldn't kick a goal the week before, and then they come out and kick 8 goals in the first quarter. So
wow, that was the hottest footy I'd seen this year. I reckon that quarter. I'm going to call it. It was just absolutely. If you're going to watch top, getting it done.
It was an absolute power surge, wasn't it?
About 50 points in the first quarter.
They were just humming. It was incredible. They were 8 goals 2 at quarter time, and then 12 goals 5 at half time. So wow.
I think it ended up being a game high of 49 points, and the Cats clawed their way back right in towards the end. The first half, man, I was just sitting back watching on my couch, wasn't even that interested. But by the end, man, I was right on the edge. Trust me. But, yeah, wow.
Yeah, Port had you by the balls for a long time there. It was looking pretty sad.
To watch. Coming on this pod with two L's, I'm not used to this, but
2 L's in a row gets 2 big teams, so not much shame there.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And Willie Rioli just tore it up down in the forward line. Cats just had no answers for him. He just tore it up, and the Hornet, he just dominated all around the ground. The young fella.
Yeah, isn't he good?
They picked him up.
Apparently, they tried to put a bit of work into him. They said. Yeah. They said that, he might be one we'll look to put a bit of attention to, and they didn't look like they got close to him on the night.
Just way too explosive for a team.
And Ollie Wines as well.
They actually subbed off Reece Stanley tactical to tag him with a Solomon Mullen.
Well, no,
He actually did slow him down in the second half. He definitely did less, but Yeah, but they just didn't have. They should have done that earlier in the game. They had no answers. But it's first time Port's won down there. They've got a fun
victory.
First time they've won down there since 07. Port Adelaide. So.
And even then, the Cats almost got back.
Cats almost got back, but it's just Port Adelaide were just looking real good. Butters, Wines, Horn Francis, Drew, they were firing. And,
they were firing.
Really tearing up Geelong. But to Geelong's credit, they're not fucking schlubs either. They really took it to them, and it was just a good game of football with an unfortunate result, personally.
Yeah.
But, hey, you get that.
How good was Butters, though? Talking about Zach Butters, just balking everyone, just juking everybody. Yeah. And just, too smooth with it.
Most disposals, most contested possessions.
What do you have, 34, kicked a goal?
There was a bit of a play. There was a bit of a play late in the quarter, too, that a lot of the players thought the Cats got an advantage, but there was no advantage. But and we kicked the goal, but it wasn't paid, so a few people were going off about that, but it is what it is. Can't complain about one play. So.
Yeah, the whistle had already been blown, I thought, before the ball had been kicked. And so, I think, the umpire made the smartest call, I thought, in that one. Very controversial. Not quite as bad as the grand final last year, I don't think, though. I'm still got nightmares. I'm still waking up in the middle of the night. I think it might be that.
Tough times. But good stuff by both teams.
In the end,
it could have been at the start. It looked like it was going to be 100-point flogging, but they came back at least.
How you guys fought, and saved face to say the least.
That was actually Chris Scott's worst quarter. First quarter was Chris Scott's worst quarter ever. So there you go. And Port Adelaide's best quarter for 24.
I think.
Okay. All right. Well,
there's a bit of that going around at the moment.
We won't get in. They probably.
I couldn't believe both games, Thursday and Friday, were similar like that.
It was good. Two top teams fighting each other in two different nights.
Oh mate.
Footy. It worked out well this week. This week, all the top 8 fought each other, all the bottom 10 fought each other, and it was just good footy. That's it.
That's it.
Wild
that's
ring.
it.
All right. Well, if that's it, I'll move on to the next game. Fremantle versus Sydney at Optus Stadium. It was Fremantle 4-15-39 to Sydney 13-9-87. Sydney by 48 points. Steelo, what did you think of this one?
Sydney versus Freo. Yeah, Sydney's were just dominant, really. I thought most of the game. I was interested to see them. It was up at Optus Stadium, wasn't it?
They're actually versing Yallop.
Yeah, I was interested to see them travel that well and just take it up to Freo. I thought they were going to, keep that place as a bit of a fortress.
Yallop.
Yeah. Oh,
no, don't listen to Brady.
It is
Yallop.
That's
next week. That's next week.
Yeah, but they're under the banner of Yallop.
Yeah, unfortunately for Freo, things just went a bit pear-shaped, so I thought they were really building something, but I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answers for them at the moment.
Bad news for Flagmantle, that's for damn sure.
I think
looking too good.
I think the 19 scoring shots proved that they weren't far off the mark, with Sydney having 21. So no, obviously it doesn't add up to an excuse. Right. That was the game. But at least it proves they weren't far off the mark with only giving Sydney 21 scoring shots and having 20 themselves. So I'm sure they'd fill themselves with those confidences during the week. And, they didn't look a mile away in some of the gameplay. They were able to win the ball. They were up there in the contested numbers. They weren't exactly, even though they got beaten pretty comfortably, I'm sure they would find a lot of confidence out of this still. And definitely on another match, probably not get done by so much. But Sydney, at the moment, they're just going from strength to strength. They're just... Yep. Look at them go. Heaney, probably one of the best players in the comp. Lloyd, Florent, they're just endless. Warner. Blakey, he's just doing it every week. And the horse has just got him galloping, I reckon. He's just got him into gallop mode. The horse. Almost getting, sort of into a bit of a canter, but, it's just galloping along.
He's just wanting to go on this horse.
Just really impressed with Sydney at the moment. I think if you're going to model a team at the moment, if you're going to, watch, if you're another team, maybe to pick apart a few things, Sydney's probably a team you're going to, in amongst Collingwood and, one or two of the other top teams. But Sydney, they're so stable and they've got such a good spine from their forwards to their backs with their mids. So they've really got almost the perfect list in a way. And, even an injury here or two doesn't seem to really hurt them. You could take one player out and they seem to fill a gap pretty well. So a lot of top teams, if you take one or two of their top players out, they really hurt. So, just go Sydney a bit.
And that's still without Luke Parker even in the side too.
Yeah, I'm sure Fabs was hurting after that one. I mean, the great man himself probably watched the game, and
I'm remembering it better at the moment. And Freo really did just kick themselves out of the game early.
Yeah,
and it dropped their spirits. It demoralised them, and they just couldn't get that one to straighten them up. And
it all got too much. But
a goal a quarter.
Once you're out of it like that, you're out of it. But
I was just going to say while you're speaking about the early stage of the game, it was a really nice tribute what they did for Cameron McCarthy before the game.
Yeah.
They just found out that day that he'd passed away. Previous player from Giants and Freo, and imagine that you're just standing out there before the game and you're in tears, and then you got to go play a game of footy. Like, wow, it would have been tough for the players.
As well.
I know, it's very, very sad to hear, wasn't it?
Pretty hard for the Freo players, so good on them for getting out there still.
Yeah. So it's how the cookie crumbles. Alright, well, with that said, we'll move on to the next game. It was Hawthorn versus St Kilda, the University of Tasmania. It was Hawthorn 8-10-58, St Kilda 7-11-53. Daniel, not a good outing for your boys.
Well, this is my opportunity to smoke bomb.
You can't smoke bomb. No.
I can't even get out of the screen.
You don't have that power.
Yes.
It's disappear.
It was a real heartbreaker. I mean, I was expecting pretty good things on the day. I had Max King picked for 6 or 7 goals. Remember last week when we were on the show? And hasn't he fallen from his sword? I mean...
Oh, well, he wasn't kicking 6 or 7. I could have told you that for free. Jeez.
Maybe he is M King, not... But,
he's not the better king.
But, don't even know where to start. I mean, we obviously did our standard and came back late and had it in our forward line right at the end when the siren went, and it was all... we could have pinched it. But it almost wouldn't have mattered, It wouldn't have oiled over the cracks that we sort of got flogged and beaten off the park and didn't play a very good brand of footy all day. And we really didn't deserve to win. So, Ross has got a few issues at the moment, and he came out very stern in the after-game presser and really put it on the players a bit to say that they're not performing to the level that's required. And you know what I mean? And Ross was stern, and he definitely didn't hold back a little bit. I mean, obviously you're emotional after you play like that against bottom of sides.
That's true.
But he just kind of put the list on notice, and it will be interesting to see if all of Nathan's pressure that he's put on Max King over the last few weeks will take a toll, and whether his performance might get him dropped. And just
Maximum King.
You can only wonder if he can only either become the Maximus King or
King.
But it'd be interesting to see him get dropped. But last week they made a statement, the Saints, and they dropped someone else who I should be able to remember the name right now, but I can't. But so it'll be interesting to see if Ross holds his pattern. A
few close losses in this year though. Now they're adding up, they're stacking up. I think that's Saints are 1 win and 5 losses from games decided by less than 10 points.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
So
counting the tight ones.
Yeah, very close to it, but buckling under the pressure a bit, or just not able to get it done. Don't have that extra level that they can shift to, the extra gear.
Oof. What were your thoughts with Josh Battle moving up forward reads with Higgins and Butler not playing?
Yeah, it felt a bit desperate, didn't it? It was sort of...
He kicked a couple, didn't he?
Yeah, look, he played alright, but just sort of at the moment, there's a lot of change going through the team, and it doesn't really look that good on paper when you start seeing different names like Battle up forward, and obviously he's solid. Like, he's a good player.
Some confidence in the side, yeah, absolutely.
But the Hawks are going alright at the
Liam
moment.
Henry was quiet, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say he was the one that came in. I can't remember who got dropped last week, but Liam Henry came in for him, and he only had a couple of touches and kicked 1 point, and he was fairly quiet. So yeah, that's where it'd just be interesting to see how he goes in selection this week, Ross, and he's got the opportunity to swing the axe. And
I was going to say about changing the team and different players. I had a bit of look today at your players that were missing, and there's a few that were playing VFL this weekend. So I'll just say a couple, and you just tell me your thoughts about if they should be in the side or what's happening with them, Reeves. So you got Philippou.
Well, yeah, he was the one last week who got dropped. Yeah.
So you reckon he should be back in?
Well, how did he play in the VFL?
Yeah, good.
Okay, but it's hard on 1 week. So sometimes if you're going to send someone back, send them back for minimum 2. I mean, but at least good to hear he played well.
Yeah, and you've got, is it Caminiti?
Yeah. Well,
should he be up forward?
2 dimmies. Yeah, well, I thought they were committing with him, so again, he'll come back in, but I'm not sure why he was out. Did he get admitted, or was he injured? Felt like he looked like he had a few niggles a few weeks ago. Caminiti.
Yeah, Caminiti, yeah.
Caminiti.
Couple of dimmies, please.
And then you've got Sharman.
Cooper Sharman. Well, yeah, I mean, again, showed great signs when he was running hot, and yeah, you'd feel like he'd be around the mix, but there's a few very quality players. Actually, Tommy McCarthy, shout out to Tommy, who's part of the All for Footy tipping comp this year. Got his first game for Richmond VFL last week.
Good on our mate. Good on our.
Played against Coburg and got a game, and then backed it up with a game against the Footscray VFL this week, young Tommy, and managed to rack up 24 touches against the Doggies VFL. So we will be heading down to Sandy Oval this weekend on Sunday to watch Richmond play Sandy. So it'll be interesting to see all the St Kilda players rolling around against Tommy. Yeah, down at the local.
That's unreal. Great effort by the young lad.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
There we go. Well, congratulations, Hawthorn. St Kilda really gave you one there. And yeah,
that's
one of the few you'll get this year. One of the few you'll get. Alright, let's move on to Essendon versus GWS at Marvel Stadium. It was Essendon 12-10-82, GWS 9-8-62. Essendon by 20 points in quite the upset. Don't you think, Wills?
Yeah, what a giant upset, hey?
I hate you.
That's a good one.
Really was a giant upset.
Yeah, well, I just kept checking out this score of this game, and this is just a huge sculpt for the Bombers, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. It was another one. They've gotten a few now.
There's a fair bit of that game where, Essendon were sort of about 3 goals, 20 points up from, a fair chunk of it, and then the axe swung, and the bloody Dons just outran them, didn't they, with their game style and their, defensive play, and just players just keep stepping up, don't they? Like, you got Langford. Every time I see, Langford's just kicking goals every week. He's got to be one of the most improved forwards of the club at the moment, doesn't he?
How red hot is he? Hey, the Essendon supporters must just be beside themselves at the moment. Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
Nathan threatened to jump on the friend train this week down to Windy Hill, and then jumped off last minute.
I did. I panicked.
So did I.
But it's a very crowded train, the old Bombers train at the moment. With the footy they're playing, it's just electric, isn't it? And how's the crowd on the weekend with a real home base, real dominated crowd, obviously playing an interstate side. But
and it was Callum Ward's 300th as well. That would have been a bit tough for him to lose that one.
Yeah, playing the Bombers. But how's Essendon's juggernaut's just growing, isn't it? It's getting huge now. And
tail up at the moment.
Sitting third on the ladder. And hats off to them. They've really earned it, and they're just playing the brand of footy now that it looks like it could end any week. Really, it's just electric, frenetic, and
they could be sitting top 2 in 2 weeks' time. Like mid-year through the season, they could be top 2 on the ladder.
Yeah, let's just keep pumping heaps of hype onto him.
Brad Scott's got him humming. And I think on the weekend they were able to surf the orange tsunami.
Oh my god, it was so exciting. Because, even though I did change my tip to GWS, I still wanted Essendon to win. I still want Essendon to win. I'm just big soft spot for Essendon.
And Green isn't injured for the year too, Nathan.
No. Oh yeah, correction.
How long?
He played.
Tom Green?
That's what I'm saying. He's not injured for the year.
Last year I said injured for the year because when I was looking it up, it was like, he's done that fucking from 2021.
That's one of the reasons I changed my tip.
I think Toby Green's just looking a little sluggish at the minute, isn't he? I mean...
Didn't bounce back to the form we expected.
He's getting there. He'd be in his 30s.
He's got a veteran role.
He's just
been there the whole time. He's been there the whole time, hasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
True.
I've got a fun Fenno fact for you.
Oh!
This is the first time the Bombers are sitting top 4 this far into a season since 2013.
Oh, there you go.
11 years.
I'm gonna start calling my facts fun Fenno facts too. I've got a new name.
Alright, well, if you're going to call them fun, then we have to judge them whether they are fun or not. This one? Fun.
Fun.
Woo!
It's fun. This time.
Some won't be fun for some other clubs.
Oh, mate, don't you worry. Just want to bring it to a comment left on our episode last week by a fan. Julian Slankovic 7319, shout out brother. Dan, that blanket/jumper is disgusting. You should burn it. I think you were using the Hawthorn Guernsey as a blanket on your legs last week. How the hell did Tigers beat Swans? I thought they might beat Freo, but gee, that was dumb. Big test this week for the Bombers. Win would be massive, but like Fenno was saying, who the hell knows with Essendon? Well, you got your win.
Arch nemesis. That rug that I had on my legs last week, it was a line in the sand, and that was the other half of the battle. So it just goes against my so I was actually wearing it to try and moz Hawthorn to be all like, you guys are going to lose now, I've touched this. But it didn't work, did it?
Nick Martin played well for the Essendon Bombers too, man. He just keeps dominating.
And he's not even a midfielder, I don't think. I think he's like
he runs off the half back. He runs off the half back.
Which is wild, but it's just... Go Nick Martin.
Do you reckon they would make an Essendon Lego Premiership thing if Essendon win the Premiership this year?
Why?
So that my arch nemesis can buy it, and he can potentially set up a. Or do you reckon you have to could you?
If there was Essendon Lego, I feel like he'd be right on top.
Well, or you could specify that, couldn't you? You could
why is he your arch nemesis and not me?
In tips, he's my arch nemesis. He's always talking shit about me.
When?
Behind my back on social media.
He's like one person that doesn't use social media. You use social media more than me. That's how much.
Get on the pod, Julian.
He seems to comment a fair bit for someone who doesn't use social media.
Bit of a rival though, isn't he?
Arch nemesis of tips.
Just leave a comment.
Arch nemesis. But yes, the Bombers. I mean, I must admit, I'm excited for all the Bombers supporters I know, because I know the feeling, what it is like to play in a final.
Fly high in April, shut down in May.
Yep.
Finally enjoy your footy a bit more.
Yeah, so...
he's got him playing with such aggression. It goes to show if you play just as a team, instead of a team of champions, as a champion team, just how far it gets you. And already, just within the first year of really coming together under Brad Scott, maybe 2 years. 2 years he's had him now, so... really coming together though this year, and just far out where they can go as a unit. Well, it's going to be good to see.
And you got to say,
maybe a bit worrying.
Right, Langford's huge.
He's doing real well lately. Like, you can't go past him. He's just doing so well.
Smashing it.
But yeah,
a lot of their players, their whole midfield. I mean, at the moment.
Yeah, they've got
not to say they don't have some champions in their teams.
They really do. All right. Well, I think with that, we'll move on. We can't keep glazing Essendon all day.
Just have a little break.
They have earned it.
I bumped into Michael Williams last night, the old ex-president of Chelt Park, while I was driving home in the golf cart. and I had a quick hello to him, and he reckons it could be like the start of the Richmond dynasty for Essendon here. First year in, bang, premiership, get it done, you know, a little bit more recruiting next year or two, and just progress hard from there, you know. Why mess around first year and have to tip each other into prelims and all that? None of that crap, just straight in, premiership, bang, dynasty. So that was his actual words last night.
Is Mick Williams still having a hit down at Chell Park?
He was part of the 5th premiership this year, he was, our young Michael. Also with his son in the side. Maybe 2 of his sons, actually. I think they all played. Half the Williams family was in the team. But, well, look at that, right on cue. And yeah, the fifth's got the chockies. Yeah, tough to get a game in that 5th. And I've heard that a lot of people have got their hand up to be in the 5th next year. But he was saying that
I can send that hat back to you now, can't I, Reeves?
no, you can hang on to it, mate.
He's collecting.
I might have to come up and get it.
I like this pod.
I'll come up in a few weeks and get it.
Park yourself at the bar at Chell Park.
Come up and do the pod with me.
Come down to the pub with us. All right.
I'm going up there.
To the next game. Richmond versus the Western Bulldogs at the MCG. Richmond 6-6-42 to the Western Bulldogs 19-133. Daniel.
Wow. It's a shame we can't throw to Mr. Parker on this one. I mean, you know, from the form the week before to get done by Hawthorn, which, you know, look, they still played okay the week before, but to come out and really just give something back to the supporters and get the 90-point victory, I just thought it was good for the club, good for the players' morale, good for Bevo, and yeah, they really took care of Richmond, didn't they? I mean, wow, how good did they just... Oh,
they shut me up, that's for
clinical.
Sure. They shut me up.
Yeah, I mean, I half contemplated tipping Richmond, even though I knew the Dogs were going to show up and respond. Because, again, like I said, I didn't think they played that bad the week before. They got pushed all the way by a hungry side who form stacks up. They go on and win again. So,
well, the Bull, BT, tipped Richmond and nobody else.
Yeah, so there, you know, I mean, even Rick tipped the Doggies, you know, and Rick's known for a rogue tip here and there.
No,
but
he always tips the Doggies, always, no matter.
So we've got a guy that plays for Richmond and he didn't even tip his own side.
No, he must have tipped the Dogs too. And, yeah, so I was just impressed with their scoring as well. I mean, to kick, you know, 19 goals, 19, so they've almost had 40 shots at goal to hold Richmond to 12. So, you know, those sort of things are the things the coaches analyse during the week, you know, some of the nitty-gritty numbers, not just the final figure, but, you know, to be pumping 40 shots in, they could have kicked 25 goals. I mean, you know, Norton getting up forward, and my favourite player on the night, just Darcy. I mean, how much presence has the kid got? He's just clunking them from everywhere and kicking straight. Was it 4 straight?
4 straight,
I think, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And my man, I mean, he could be up there in the count at the end of the year for the NAB Rising. And
should be playing every game for the rest of the year, you'd think, surely.
He'll play all year, unless maybe a rest here or there. But
Harms, a Melbourne transplant, also 4 goals straight.
Yeah, and go Dogs. Yeah, Norton 4 goals as well. So, I mean, they're just slotting them all night, and they sort of...
Just want to say,
excuse me.
Hagen, 1 goal, 2, and fucking 9 disposals. Like, is he worth his paycheck?
Oh, look, at the moment, he's playing still a prominent role. I mean, he's a big target, and, you know, he's always carrying the key defenders, and he's towing his load. I mean, he's...
Getting consistent.
He's paid a lot.
He's been inconsistent.
He's very young. Look, I'm not ripping in a Ugle-Hagen at all at the moment. I think he's still got a lot of development to come. And sometimes some of these players really bud as they get a bit older. You know what I mean?
Waiting for a bit more of a big moment as well.
Oh, it's a hard role.
When your team gets up early, and you know, as a forward, you know, you just create space and let the other guys do the work. And you know, sometimes it doesn't always go your way. You're not the one getting the reward, but
he's a workhorse.
Still doing a lot of work.
Yeah,
still covering the Ks.
He's a workhorse and a half.
Wasn't required to kick the game-winning goal or anything this week. So
yeah, I think if you
step up when he's needed,
if you're in the doggy kennel this week, he would have got good praise.
3% disposal efficiency.
Yeah, look, I mean, he can probably play better. Let's not hide from that. But I still feel like he's chipping in big time every quarter, every play. You know, almost sometimes too much, where he almost overruns a ball, but he's just frenetic. And I think once he settles into his body and the game speed and he's just going to play at the level for the next 10 years comfortably. You can see, and I think
forwards take time. Take time.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are doing a lot of sleeping for him. It's very nice.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm enjoying watching the kid play because I think, like, what a battle to be. How old is he? 21 or so? Is he only in for third year? Is it his third year? Yeah.
Yeah, some of that.
So, you know, he's super young and you're getting put up as a key forward for an AFL.
And he signed for a couple more years too. There was a bit of talk with him leaving, but he signed.
Yeah. So that's good for the club and good for him. Get a bit of consistency in play, get up to 100 games, that sort of thing. And anything's possible with the old Ugle, but yeah, I am backing him in a bit, aren't I? I'm really racking for him. I enjoyed watching him on the weekend, even though he didn't kick a bag like anyone else. I actually remember commenting on watching him.
Really?
But you had first game of Joel Farija, Jay, I think it's pronounced. 17 disposals and just run around, saw the wing / half back. He played good for a first game, the young fella. So it's good for the doggies.
Yeah.
And I noticed that.
Definitely.
Yeah, Bont played well, and they're starting to throw him.
He always plays well.
He's always well, but he's starting to actually kick some goals in his game now too. He's starting to really get on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
2
goals straight, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you couldn't go past Trelaw though with 41 disposals,
good numbers,
score involvements, 7 marks and a goal. So he just dominated.
Well,
Trelaw stepped up with Lil Libba out of the game at the moment. So
yeah, look, to tell you the truth, I'm a bit salty on Ugelhagen, so I was a bit biased against him. I did have a multi. It required him to kick 2 or more, and a bunch of other things that I nailed. Like Trelaw, most disposals in the game.
Now it makes sense.
Freaking Norton. Oh wait, no. Just don't even worry about it. Got it all except for Ugelhagen, and very disheartening for me.
You got a young player that can't even get in the team at the moment. The doggies at bloody Riley Sanders he's banging on the door to get in. And he had 42 touches in the VFL and still can't get in the side.
Well, surely that's going to change. Can't get that many touches.
Mate, get him in, Bevo. But it didn't help with the Tigers. They had even more casualties on the injury list during the game. You had Jack Graham did a hammy. Sam Banks concussed, and Morris Rioli an ankle. Like, how hard's it getting for these Tigers team, really?
Yeah, no, it's tough. But hey, this ain't ballet.
No.
And doggies just smashed it.
Wait, it ain't ballet or ballet?
Both. It's neither. All right. Well, with that, we'll move on to the next game. Yes.
Yes.
Gold Coast versus North Melbourne at TO Stadium. It was Gold Coast 17-18, 120 to North Melbourne 7-10, 52. Big wheelie, take it away.
Mate, go the Sunners. How good was that?
Yeah. Another flogging.
I didn't know what game to watch. The Suns North or Tigers Doggies. It was both fun.
They were both slogging.
Oh, mate, I was like, do I watch my second team just smashing it, or do I watch another game where the other side's almost winning by 100 points? So
I was into the Gold Coast game live, actually.
In that situation, you go with your favourite multi.
No, I don't think I have one on.
If you had one on either game, you go on that one. But also, double screen action.
Nah, but good win for the Sunners, man. Really, to come out, get nearly an 80-point win, far out. That's good for anyone, especially in Northern Territory. Yeah. And they're starting to. They've won 5 games straight there now, the Suns. So they're really showing that they're a little bit of a home base there, and they get a lot of their academy players come from there too, the Suns. So they're really just getting a little spot there with. But I noticed Joel Jeffrey, he's from NT, and he played good in front of his home crowd, getting 20 disposals, did a few good things, so good on him for in front of his family and whatnot. But
definitely
couldn't get past Jed Walter. He's up forward for the Suns. He didn't bag heaps, but his presence down there, he's just smashing packs, tackling. He's going in so hard, Jed Walter. He's only played a couple of games, bit Jonathan Brown like, but I just keep watching him every week. He's a young recruit, first year player, and I'd say the Suns are sort of really putting a stamp on the comp now. They're like in, what are the 4 bottom sides? You've got North that beat by 68, Tigers 39, Eagles 37, Hawks 53. So you'd well and truly say they've sort of passed all those teams now and really
they're definitely in the middle.
Middle of the pack now. You're getting past a few, so it's good to see. Comp's getting even, but just a good win, and they keep it up? They're just a bit inconsistent sometimes, but some games they're just running it out really well. So
they do fail quite a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly, mate. They're pretty known for dying the arse halfway through the game, but like I said, they're showing it against their lower sides that they can play the 4 quarters. But Mac Andrew was good. Took was good. Collins, pretty much all just Suns players really, just dominated the night, obviously.
Of course.
North are just...
can't really say much about the North players. They'll, what is it?
They were there.
LDU played good, but really...
Same old couple.
The whole team's going down. And you had young Colby McCurcher got the rising star this round for the Roos too. So at least it was a bit of a right thing for the game for him, but it doesn't get any easier. It's getting hard to watch the Kangas, but I've got another fun Fenno fact for you fellas.
Guys, be ready to judge.
Might not be fun for one of the sides, but this is the worst start to a season since 1972 for the Kangaroos. 0-9. That's the worst start.
And what side was that?
For the Kangas.
No, what side was the side in 1972?
What's the side?
Do we know?
No, like players.
No, what?
The team.
It was the Kangaroos.
Who was the team in 1972 that were really bad?
The Kangaroos.
Oh.
The Roos' worst start since 1972. Did I say that?
No, I'm with you now.
You did. Don't worry.
I thought you said it's the worst start for any side.
I thought you wanted the lineup.
It's like Jono.
I just don't get how they made the grand final 5 years later.
I know that they won a flag 5 years later, but bloody hell.
Yeah.
Well, so not a good fun fact. Not a good fun fact, Fenno, for the Kanga supporters there.
And
what do you reckon, guys? Was that fun or not?
Who was coaching in 72?
It wasn't bad.
It was fun.
Come on, host, straighten this show up.
Try and come up with a few each week, boys. All right.
FFF.
And we will judge whether they're fun or not. All right. Let's move on to the next game.
Fuck.
It was Collingwood versus... Collingwood versus West Coast at Marvel Stadium. It's Collingwood 15-13, 103. West Coast 5-7-37. Collingwood by 66 points. Daniel.
I am ecstatic to talk about this one. I needed the tip. I was very confident in getting the tip. I was so confident that I actually didn't watch it live because I was at the Monster Jam having a ball next door to the stadium, but it turns out the game was at Marvel.
Yeah, no, I was shocked with that. I was shocked with that one.
So there I was all afternoon looking at the G going, seems a bit quiet around here for a game day, but whatever, it's a small crowd, it's Mother's Day, the game's on. I was telling Hawkeye, who I was with, the game's on there right now. I was telling Jai, but it was actually down the road at the other venue. But luckily the Collingwood players got the memo, and they were there.
Oh, lucky.
And they didn't just walk out of the...
I saw the footage at the start of the game, because I didn't know either, I'm like, geez, they got the lights on early in Melbourne today, man. It looks like a night game.
Yeah, it's about normal weather. But Dacos, just to top the pack, you got 2 Dacoses and Crisp, all 36, 32, 28.
Yeah, they did well. Pendlebury as well.
Straight away, they were just on top of the game, and their midfielders really just sort of did it with ease. And they blooded a few young kids down forward. I think...
this is the team to do it against.
Was it McRae? Is he one of the new guys?
Fenno, do you know? The last couple of weeks.
Yeah, McRae's.
It was there. You reckon it's been their clearance works the last couple of weeks, Reeves? Hey, that's been smashing it.
Yeah, Oh yeah, they've come good through the mid. Now they've really settled their mids back in, and they're just winning heaps of it in there. And
because they had 7 goals in the second quarter too, didn't they?
Yeah. So hot pies. I mean, tough for West Coast. Tough for West Coast here, where they've come over, maybe giving themselves a little bit of hype just to try and stick with Collingwood for a bit and really see where they're actually at. And Collingwood were able to just second rate them, really just sort of all the matchups across the ground. Like by the time they got their run going, West Coast were just not able to stay with them at all. So really second rate, and Collingwood.
It was a bit unknown without Elliott and Mychek playing too, wasn't it? I was a bit intrigued by that, but then when I found out Waterman wasn't playing, I'm like, oh, that evens that ledger out, really.
Yeah,
but
couple.
Waterman was in. I don't know if that would have done anything.
No, but just going into it, like they're 2 main goal kickers for the Pies,
Yeah, and Sullivan for Collingwood as well, another new player, kicked a goal, and just really a bit of a one-sided cakewalk in the end there for Collingwood, wasn't it?
Reid took a good hanger. Reid took a good hanger.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, not bad. It still doesn't compare to Elliott's. I mean, nothing will, I don't think, this year.
No, you say that, but we'll see.
Everything's going to get put against that.
Yeah.
And for Pies to end up smashing Eagles, they even had Howe go off with a groin, Harrison with an ankle, and Bytel with a concussion. So they've lost 3 players, and they've just still smashed it.
They got tested an inch here, Collingwood. I thought, in a way, it could have been easy for them just to kind of peter out after being up by close to about 8 goals at half time. But then just to still go along and win by 11 goals, win the second half by another 3 goals, and never get complacent in the game, win every quarter of the match there comfortably.
Yeah, they lost the 4th quarter though.
Oh, sorry, yeah, they did lose the last quarter, just as I said it.
Pretty scary. Pretty scary. They're in the 8 now, and they're only half a game of being in the top 4.
Oh yeah, they're circling big time, and at least they took their time this year preparing, I reckon, and maybe DeGoey and 1 or 2 of them might have just had to really hold the front for a few blokes this year, and hence why he's probably a bit beaten up. But a lot of them pretty fresh, you'd say, as a whole, and Collingwood really shaping up strong this year, and they're just going to go strength to strength later in the year, aren't they? I mean, what are they paying at the moment to win the flag? I've got a feeling they're maybe at least $6.
Yeah, they'd be pretty good at this point because of the sluggish start to the year. And
so obviously Sydney would be the favourite.
The next 3 weeks will be pretty interesting for the Pies. They are getting a bit of an injury toll. Like they got half pretty okay, easy games, but they are getting pretty injured. Like there's a few of them down. So on to what? Pies.
They did lose those first. They did have a shocking start to the year. They could have easily hit some poor form again.
Yeah.
And it all just depends. They do have a giant target on their back, being the reigning premiers. So
never easy.
Interesting to see the premiership race at Sydney, $4.50, followed by the Giants at $6.
Okay.
Followed by Carlton at $7. Followed by Collingwood at $7.50.
Melbourne?
Followed by...
Did you mention Nick Dacos? He played good.
Yeah, I did. Gave the Dakes a rap. But, it's followed by Geelong, and then Melbourne, and then Brizzy, and then Essendon.
What's Melbourne got?
$8.
Brisbane before Essendon.
Might do it. Might put some money down.
St Kilda's below Hawthorn. It's Hawthorn and St Kilda 101.
No, what do you know? Alright, well with that, I think we'll move on to the last game of the round. It was Adelaide versus Brisbane at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide 13-12-90.
That's awesome.
So Brisbane 13-12-90.
What a game.
Dead heat. Steelo.
As if.
Oh, wow, way. What an intense match. No, it was an awesome match.
It was a good start. Good match.
Yeah, had me on the edge of my seat all night.
What seat? Where were you?
I was up at Josh's.
Oh.
Yeah, enjoying the game.
Watching it with Big Gubba.
Yeah, far out. It was a long week of footy, like from an intense match to start the week off to an intense match to finish it off
And
as
a
well.
draw. I couldn't believe
And,
it.
yeah, the draw.
You're watching a bit delayed.
Sorry?
You're watching a bit delayed too, weren't you, Steelo?
Yeah. I didn't want to ruin the scores, and I wanted to make sure I had a nice meal and a mate to watch the footy with. So I told him, pause the footy, I'll be there in an hour. And yeah, we got it going. And yeah, it was almost more suspenseful in the end. Trying not to hear any notifications, muting all the chats.
You got to mute the chats because Ryan just gave it all away.
Well, we always try and get him, so why wouldn't he pay us back for, you know?
I forgot for a moment, and then I realised when I was talking to you guys that it was probably the game was wrapping up, but I thought it was just the start of the fourth quarter. So yeah, but far out. What an intense match. The Lions, I thought we played really well still, but Adelaide were just there with us every step of the way. Like Darcy Fogarty, I think kicked 4 for them, and
Darcy Fogarty had a couple of chances late too to seal the game too, didn't he?
Oh, far out, super close. And I mean, credit to Adelaide, they played really well. Like Rankin as well played a pretty special game. Like had his moments.
Good player, Rankin.
But the Lions, I thought we had some players step up that are not the usual ones, but up starting to generate a pretty good season so far in players like Jared Berry, who played really well, had a lot of the footy and was using it cleanly as well, I noticed. So he's obviously been at training a lot. He's disposable.
Another
left
good
something
player
to be desired over the years, but really elite on the weekend. So awesome to see that. And McCluggage, led the way. He just dominated and had a goal as well, I believe, and just almost got the boys over the line in a night when not everyone was firing for us.
It's incredible, though, isn't it? I mean, just another draw.
Another draw, and first time the Lions have had a draw since 2009. I'm not used to it. I couldn't believe it. I don't think I said a word for 10 minutes after the game. I was just a bit apathetic. I was in another space after the game because just not used to that.
I was shattered because I tipped Brisbane and everybody up the top tipped Adelaide. I was like, come on, Brisbane, come on.
Lions are up by 3 goals during that last quarter too, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
And
up by 3 goals, I was like, done. The way this game is going, no way Adelaide's coming back into it.
Yeah, there was about 12 minutes to go and they're 3 goals up.
Yeah, it was such a low-scoring game as well, sort of like, as if Adelaide's going to respond and catch up. And then they just fucking did.
But can't forget to mention Calamarchi as well. He played a ripper of a game.
4 goals?
Maybe the best game I've seen him play at the club. Kicked 4 goals and was just there at the right times. If would have been fitting, I thought, if he could have kicked the match-winning goal because he had a ripper of a night and very influential.
Joe Danaher had an opportunity too in the last moments, didn't he?
Let's not talk about that. Let's save that. It's not a loss, Steelo. All right, you did better than Melbourne, did better than Saints, you did better than the Cats. So
we're all losers.
He didn't do better than the Doggies.
No, he's not a loser. He's just a person.
He's a D. He's just a D.
No, he's just a person existing.
The 2 points might help us later on in the year.
That's the first ever draw at Adelaide Oval during a home and away season too.
Oh, there you go.
Credit to the groundskeepers too.
Another
fun fact.
FFF like carpet.
No, it was a pretty obvious one.
It was an FSF, Fenno Standard Fact.
There's only been one other draw and that was a final.
Oh, so home and away. Okay.
And who was the final between?
I think it was West Coast Adelaide, wasn't it?
No, but that wasn't
West Coast Port.
That wasn't at that ground.
Yeah, there's been one final that's a draw. Yeah.
Oh, it was at Adelaide Oval. You sure?
Yeah. Why are you a couple of years ago? It was during COVID.
That's why I feel like it was at a neutral ground. It was at
Nah,
it wasn't.
Trust me.
Nah, I'm gonna look it up.
I'm gonna trust you, Ryan, because
I'm
trusting you.
We'll put a bottle of Grange on it.
Right, usually get
don't usually get a draw.
Just let me know if you need me to send you my address.
So that's a yes. That's a yes. He's doing it. I'm sure he's still got your address, Wills.
What year? I reckon it was 2020.
Yep. It was COVID time.
It was the first week of finals. Wasn't it?
I feel like Wheels knows something here.
I think Wills has had overwhelming confidence about this answer from day dot.
No, it was 2019. First week of finals.
2019 is not COVID times.
Are we going to go to 700 ml or the 1 litre bottle?
No, it was 2018.
2020.
Maybe it was 2017.
2020.
2017. Yeah, it was at Adelaide Oval.
I thought you said during, but you did say it was during COVID times.
Yeah, and it wasn't during COVID times.
Shit.
Like 3 years before COVID times.
I'll text you my address, mate.
Good. I'm glad we could
Make it the 1 litre bottle, can ya?
Alright, let's move on.
Let's quickly.
The tipping results.
He's still looking at it. Look at him.
Yeah, because in the COVID year,
he's in disbelief.
in the COVID year, Port played Geelong at Adelaide Oval in the first final.
Alright, moving on. This week's tips. I need to shout out Vossi Star 13. 7 out of 9 for the round.
Oh, Vossi.
What a good round of tipping. So yeah, he's out there running at the most.
Catching up quickly.
He's a good tipper, but more importantly,
he's still like 16.
his brother's better than him at footy.
It's a very close
Because
ball down there.
Kai debuted for Cheltenham last week. Kai Voss, another Voss out there, played for Cheltenham in the first, got a debut game in the seniors, and kicked a sausage roll in his first game.
Oh, congrats.
Young Kai. So another Voss out there, just playing some good footy.
Awesome times. Alright. So now we'll go into the top 5. They've shaken up a tiny bit this week. Just a tiny bit. Coming in at number 5 is dear old Papa, fallen from grace this week. You know, you got a 4 and it just plummeted him.
Sucked in, Rob.
That's it. He's done. And coming in at number 4 is Jamie on 55. So he's one up on my father on 54, 55. And then Molian, he's going up a rank to number 3. He's also on 55.
Useless.
Or he backed Essendon, he did. And then there's me, Mr. 9 out of 9. I got 5, funnily enough. So I'm still on 55 as well. So it's a 3-way tie between 2, 3 and 4.
Not bad.
I'm winning on margin. And then number 1, it's the second best podcaster in the world.
Wow.
Daniel the Dr. Reedy on 56.
Hey.
What the heavens.
Hey.
Look, I'm nipping at you.
Doing well, mate.
Yeah.
Your roughies are doing good.
This
Yep.
is nipping at you. He'll fall apart. I'm not worried about Reedy.
I'm on my own train.
He'll steal his phone.
Somebody will steal. He'll get his phone stolen again, and he won't be able to
Reedy,
put his tips in for
Nathan's
3
going to
weeks.
shout you a trip. Nathan's going to shout you a trip to Thailand.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Alright.
No, I'm not shouting a trip to Thailand. The fuck?
Like how he said
Who do you think
Nathan.
you are?
He's fucking will go missing, mate.
No, he just knows how rich Nathan is.
Yeah,
He just keeps it under wraps.
making a lot of podcast money. You know.
You do the rich hobo guy thing.
All for footy is just popping off right now. It's making.
We
a lot
don't do
of
this for
money.
free.
Man, I came around before and he was doing snow angels in cash. Like,
I
just
was. It was fun. Fun times. Fun times to have it all. All right. Let's move on to this week's games. Starting.
oh, this is huge. Oh, this week's games. I got so excited for it.
Thursday night football at TO Stadium is Gold Coast versus Geelong. Steelo. Who you got?
Oh, after last week with the way Gold Coast played, I just don't think they're quite at the level of Geelong though. They put in a good performance, but I think I'll definitely be going with Geelong in this one. I mean, very hard to look past them, isn't it?
Yep, 100%. I'd say.
They'll want to bounce back.
Sure.
Now, I'm just currently looking on the map of Australia
Why?
because I'm just looking at where TO Stadium is geographically to where Wheels is. He's actually quite parallel to the ground. So, you know, I feel like if you just drive inland for a good day there, Wheels,
Saying if you're a real fan, you'll go to the game.
you probably could get there if you
Nathan
just
will shout a
drive
ticket.
straight west. You wouldn't even need to follow a map or anything. Just drive directly west for a long time.
And it's on Thursday. I've got time.
Yeah.
Day off work.
So
Days.
I expect to see you at the game, but look, what a tough proposition this is. This is scary. I don't know how Wheels is feeling, but
I know how Wheels is feeling.
he may have a Portaloo under him right now. He may just be sitting on one of those
This is the right
kids'
chair to be
dunnies.
sitting on.
So I think I'm gonna just have to tip. See, it gets interesting here because
Gold Coast. You should
Gold
tip
Coast haven't lost a home game yet this year.
They've won 5 straight up there.
If
They've
they
won
hadn't,
5 straight up there.
if they had have lost last week, I was prepared to say that they still haven't lost at home. So I was sort of got a bit of a one last week where I was going to play it both ways. But now I've got a real pickle because they got Geelong up there. So this could be their first home game loss. They definitely going to offer a bit more resistance than North Melbourne, and I just think Geelong aren't silly here. They're going to run pretty hard with the Gold Coast, so I'm going to have to tip Geelong. I mean, interesting
There
game,
you
though. Very interesting game.
Brian, who you got?
Last year I single-handedly saw the Suns absolutely smash the Cats at Metricon Stadium.
Didn't they?
Coaches kicked 5 goals on us, and Cats had no answers. That was around the start of the year. And
This is a ripper game. Wow.
Without Hawkins and Cameron playing.
No, they don't need them.
And the Cats need a win, so I'm tipping the Suns.
Yeah.
Boys.
And
Get on it.
And have you tipped Geelong the last 2 weeks?
Get on it.
Doesn't
I'm
like
tipping
to
the
tip
Suns, and hopefully the Cats win.
I mean, the Suns' midfield should probably outpower the Cats, but the Cats got a stronger team, stronger outfit in the other areas, I would have thought. So
We're missing a few in the midfield, and I think if we're going to win, it will come from our back line. But I just feel. What was I going to say? Yeah, I feel like it's a bit odd, like to rest Hawkins, but Cameron's not playing. Surely Hawkins will play.
It's a good game to rest
A bit of a
Hawkins.
theory. Are they almost planning not to win this game just so Hawkins actually plays a record game number at the Cats down at Geelong the following week? So yeah, it's a bit odd. Do they want the big home crowd there for Hawkins? Record. So
They probably figured they could do it without him against Gold Coast and Teo.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon it's tough, but I reckon the Suns might just do it.
Well, I got Cats, so we're all going for Cats. All right.
I'll go with the Suns.
All going for the Cats. You can't fool me.
I can count those premiership posters in the background.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, 4 of them. He's going for the Cats.
I think he's going for the Cats too. Okay, for that as well.
If Hawkins play, I'll change my tip.
I'm going to hack the app and I'm going to change his tip.
Yeah. Make it so he can't tip against Geelong.
No matter what, one of my teams will win that night.
So one of your Suns will be victorious.
Unless it's a draw.
Ooh, but then you still win.
But you still win there, yeah.
You get all 4 points.
Yeah, so look on the bright side, alright? Alright,
Cats.
moving on to the next game. Friday night football at the SCG, Sydney versus Carlton. Steelo, who you got?
Ooh, it's another good game, another ripper game. A couple teams playing some great footy at the moment. Oh, geez, this is a very hard one to tip. Where's it being played, sorry?
SCG.
SCG. Oh, and that's a big factor. I think we're going to have to go with the Swannies on that factor.
Yeah. Braves.
Yep, I'm Swans here. Yeah, Carlton, I mean, they could bloody pinch it, couldn't they? I mean,
Absolutely.
I feel like once the game settles a bit, they'll be in it. It's just whether Sydney can get off to a flyer maybe and get ahead and play it as one of those games for the night where... But, if Carlton are in it at half-time and up to three-quarter time, well, then they're going to be right in it because they'll probably back themselves to finish harder. They've really been finishing games well, so just got to stay in it. Carlton, give themselves every chance, but it's hard not to tip Sydney.
No, it is. Alright, Wheels.
Yeah, I've got a pretty similar theory like Daniel with the Suns, but I'm with the Swans. I'll tip the Swans most games at SCG, and that's pretty much it. Simple as that.
Yeah, I feel like at this point you'd be stupid not to.
That's why he's about 7th on tips.
So, yeah, Sydney, across the board.
They played so well, though, last week, Carlton, so it's going to be a great game.
They did. Until they didn't.
Carlton are red hot. I mean, Walsh at the moment, I reckon, is probably one, as with Heaney, up there with one of the best players in the comp. So, they've really... And Cripps and Curnow.
They like a tough
they're
game.
packing some bloody heat under their weaponry there, Carlton. So
they're still 7th.
they're very,
It'll be just interesting how they go against the contested footy against the Swannies, that's all.
Yeah, Carlton love it. But it's been a long campaign already, about 7 or 8 weeks of pretty hard games. So
Yeah, Sydney at home. Sydney at home. That's why we all
Yeah, definitely.
So that's it. All right, moving on. Next game. It was Saturday football at the MCG. It was Collingwood versus Adelaide. Steelo, who do you have?
Oh, off the back. Oh, jeez. I was going to say Collingwood, but then Adelaide, they played so well against the Lions. So, it's going to be a good game as well. It's a real nice round. I think
that was against the Lions, though. And with all due respect,
maybe the ins and outs will probably play a part for Collingwood. But, yeah, I'll back them in, give them the early confidence.
Reeves.
Yeah, I'm not having a sniff of Steelo's debating it. It's just Collingwood all the way here for me. I mean, Adelaide will rate themselves to come and have a look and have a crack.
And then we'll get smacked down immediately.
I just don't think they got the depth in the midfield at the moment, Adelaide. It's probably their one weakness. Like, they got a strong forward line. They're bloody good down back. And they got a few good mids. But if you're really going to put Collingwood's midfield up against them, where you've probably got the best versus probably maybe the 10th, real middle of the road midfield. Yeah, you just see him walking it out of there. But, yeah, that'd be the only concern for Collingwood is maybe a few injuries and that, where they don't have the best forwards up there. I mean, they don't have a good forward line, Collingwood, I've come to the conclusion. They've just got a lot of good players that play up forward, but they really don't have a good forward line on paper at all. Exactly. This is my point. They've got my check.
Still waiting on McStay. Really missing him too, because obviously they called for him because they needed another forward, and then just he got injured straight away and injured again when he came back. So it's true though. They've got a few problems down there.
I mean, they've got a lot of good players. Don't get it wrong. I mean, Elliott and Myercheck, and the way they just floated around, it's still great. But geez, aren't they crying out for just a big power forward, Tom Lynch style? Throwing off down Max King.
No, they've got Myercheck. Leave them alone. Alright, Wheels. Who have you got?
Yeah, like Reeves says, their guys are pretty got a lot of injuries at the moment, but I'm going to tip them, but I reckon it'll be actually a pretty close game. I reckon Crows have hit some pretty good form. But, yeah, just at the MCG, the Pies know that ground so well, so just the Pies, but it'll be good. I reckon it'll be good viewing.
Yeah. Well, MCG. Pies.
A good clash between traditional rivals too.
Are
Yeah, traditional rivals,
Collingwood
Adelaide.
Pies.
Yeah.
Because Magpies and Crows, sorry. Collingwood Pies, fuck. Yeah.
No, it's an old
both
joke.
Birds.
It's an old joke from the Footy Wars, the old CD, like the 12th Man.
I actually didn't hear it. What did you say?
I said traditional rivals, Collingwood and Adelaide,
That's the joke.
Why?
because they're as far from traditional rivals as you can get.
Because they're both birds. They're both magpies and crows.
Roll with it, come
Let's just
on.
move on. Let's just move on, shall we? Let's just move on.
Not a bad one.
Both hominids.
It was, it's Saturday football at the NG Stadium. It was GWS versus the Doggies Steel. Are you backing this week?
Can I back the Doggies in this week?
You
Are
can.
they gonna hurt me?
Oh,
I don't know. GWS, the tsunami. Is it firing? How's the activity? Is there tectonic activity? I don't know. Are the plates grinding? I'm not sure. I'm wearing orange, so. Oh, jeez. Where's this one being played?
In the
It's up
studio.
there,
This is in GWS. We'll go with the home ground advantages this week. I'm going to make sure I put my tips in because I definitely don't want the aways.
No, don't. Definitely not.
We'll go with the GWS Giants.
Wow. Doesn't this remind you of the prelim in 16? When the Dogs the Dogs got up there by a goal, and I mean the Giants, they've just been that bit off, haven't they? But you'd really expect them to bounce back here, I think, at home. But the Dogs, I mean, if they bring an A game and they're playing well, and maybe the Giants aren't up for it a bit, I mean, yeah, they could really be in the game, the Doggies. So, it's a tough commitment.
I hope they are. I hope it's a good game.
I think Kelly's going to be out too.
Well, safe punters will probably be tipping the Giants here, with a little bit of trepidation about it.
What are the Dogs offering?
$2.86.
Makes sense at this point. Yeah.
Wheels.
Yeah, like you said, Reeves does remind you of the prelim of 16, and geez, haven't they had a good rival since then? There's been some great contests.
Oh.
Bit of dirty play as well, normally by Toby.
Oh.
But yeah, it's
The
tough.
Callum
The Giants
Ward.
haven't won 2 games. They've lost 2 games in a row too.
The Ryan Griffin Cup.
Yeah, I'm going to go Giants, but I'm going to be watching the ins and outs for this game.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I'm just going Giants, and they're just going to wipe the floor with them.
Callum
You
Ward?
reckon they're going to stomp on them?
Not going to sugarcoat it. Don't think it's going to be pretty for Dogs.
That's the
Davo's going to
question.
be not happy.
Did Callum Ward get drafted to the Doggies?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he went to the Giants. And then so you had...
and Griffin as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you had Ryan Griffin.
And Tom Boyd.
Oh, wow, so there's a few of them, yeah.
Alright, well, moving on to Saturday night football at the Marvel Stadium. It is St Kilda versus Flagmantle. Steeler.
Ooh, St Kilda versus Flagmantle. I don't know if are they still Flagmantle? Okay.
Hey, look, Flagmantle's forever in my heart.
Oh, jeez.
What is their name this week, Nathan?
It is Wallula. It is Yorkie and Wallula. And if I'm pronouncing that incorrect, too fucking bad.
And Freo need to bounce back. They're still putting in a strong season so far. So I'm gonna. Sorry, Dan. I'm gonna have to tip Freo this week.
No, don't apologise to me. It's your tipping chart you're letting down.
Well, Daniel, I suppose that means you tip the Saints then.
Well, of course. I mean, we've got to bounce back here. I mean, it's a big one at home, and you don't let down the home game, especially when you're versing Yellow. So they'll travel over. Yellow. They'll probably have a bus because I don't know if they can afford flights. But yeah, I mean, I hope. Yeah, be interesting. Haven't seen much of this opposition we're playing, but.
So we'll see how they go. It's their time in the big leagues.
Oh wait, it's Yaruki versus Yelwallop. So
St Kilda versus Fremantle.
Euro.
Here's St Kilda.
A or B or 1 or 2.
Alright, Wales, who have you got?
Yaruki.
So did he put his tip in, Reeves?
Yes,
It
it
was
was
just-
the Saints.
Yaruki.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a bit of a roughie this week and tip the team that's sitting 14th on the ladder, the Saints.
Burn.
So you should.
Look, me, you, and Reeves. We're all on the friend train. Choo, choo, choo. We're there.
Yes, Dilo.
Sorry, Steelo.
Sorry.
You're excluded from this group.
I penciled this one in 4 weeks ago saying Saints should win this, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, well, see how it goes. Anyway, I'm on the friend train for this one, and I won't change my tip at the last second. Or will I?
Double check the sirens this week as well.
Got it. Alright, the other Saturday night game is Brisbane versus Richmond at the Gabba. Steelo. Surely.
Lions all the way on this one.
Oh, let's go, boys.
Easy.
Yeah, Reeves.
How easy?
Don't drop the mic. So who you got, Reeves?
Too easy.
Brisbane.
Cool. Wills, who have you got?
Yeah, the old battle of the felines. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna go the Lions, and I hope they smash it. They need to get a W and get their season back on track. Steelo.
I don't want to jinx it, but the Tigers do play pretty well. They have played pretty well against the Lions up at the Gabba in the past, but not this week.
Go put some money
I
down
don't think
on
that's
them.
happening this week.
Go put down money on them.
And different coach these
Steelo,
days
the Tigers
as well.
are the only team that've won a premiership at that ground.
Yeah, well, there you go. Exactly.
Well, look, Tigers second bottom on the ladder, which is frightening. Paying $9.50 against Brisbane's $1.06.
Shit.
The fuck? Yeah, so Brisbane all the way on the good friend train, Steelo.
Thank you very much, mate, dog.
I would be back in Richmond 100%.
Let's go to Big Hip.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, now moving into the next game. Sunday football at Marvel Stadium is Essendon versus North Melbourne. Steelo, do you want to make a case for North Melbourne? Do you want to make a case?
I can make a case for them. I don't know how it'll make me look. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you want your word to mean something?
No.
Be brave. Be brave, Steelo.
Jeez. I mean, yeah.
I mean, they got to win one at some point, don't they?
Make a statement, do they?
I mean, they played some aggressive.
Somehow, mate.
They are trying to play some aggressive football. They've taken some risks. I don't know if all of them paid off, but yeah, taken a lot of risks last week in the game, which was good to see. So some of the commentators were shooting them down like for a kick that LDU did across the ground. But yeah, you've got to take risks at this time, especially given the circumstances in that game at the time. But yeah, I can't tip them this week, unfortunately.
I'd like to shout out Todd Goldstein. We've also got Scott, the coach, been involved in both clubs. Struggling to think of many other players that have played for both clubs, actually.
And Todd Goldstein got 10,000 tap-outs, hit-outs, didn't he?
He did too.
Gun.
But, I mean, cakewalk Essendon by, I'm going to call it 111. I'm going to go 1-1-1.
I believe it.
I reckon they'll really look to just run them hard all day,
Big win for the fans.
make a point of playing like they've been playing and not just getting complacent because it's North or anything, and just really push them, stay patient, and just get a lead building and then really get a percentage, because they've got probably the lowest percentage in the 8. So, not to say it's a huge thing, but just also for the morale of the players and just for confidence.
The way Scotty's training them this year.
Yeah, and I reckon once the cracks form in the game, they'll really just put them on the board, and going to go for the big one for the Bombers, over 100.
Yeah, I see it. Big wheels.
Yeah, doesn't this game remind you of some of the great battles of the late 90s? Wow.
Oh.
Of some good games back then. Both clubs are real strong. But,
I remember North Melbourne being good.
They were the best two teams in the comp for about 3 years
mate.
straight.
Late 90s, on fire, these two clubs.
98, 99, 2000.
North started the Friday night games too. Yeah, I'm going to call it as well, Reeves. Dons by 100 points easy, I reckon.
Yeah.
And Julian, get back to us if there's any other players that have played for North and Essendon, vice versa.
Yeah.
Be nice to know. He would know. He's an Essendon historian. It's official title.
You watch, this will be the week he doesn't comment.
Well, he can't go on social media to comment, so I don't know how he comments.
He doesn't. Anyway, YouTube's not social media. I don't know why you keep referring to YouTube as social media. It's a little social, but it's not social media.
It's a little social.
It's definitely social.
It's a type of media.
Stop sticking up for radio, right?
Yeah.
Take style.
Get social on our YouTube channel.
No.
Yeah, all for footy on YouTube.
It can get social, but it doesn't make it social media. Because I say so.
Okay.
That's the only.
We should throw to him an ad right now.
Anyway, Essendon. That's who I'm going for. Alright, so. It was Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval. Steelo, who you got?
I gotta go to Port. Adelaide Power. It's a tradition over there, I've heard.
Absolutely.
Port. Yeah, wow. I mean, haven't the Hawks been playing well? I'm just.
They have. Admittedly.
2 wins in a row, but now obviously travelling to Adelaide just makes it.
And against Port, coming off a big loss.
Well, a big win down at the Cattery.
Oh.
Port.
It felt like a big loss.
It almost could be a game the Hawks get here. You know, Port will be very chuffed.
Showdown.
You know, they're a little bit battered up at the moment, Port, and they've got the big win down there, which means they probably travelled home, had a lighter week. You know, where the Hawks might go there, really going, let's get 3 in a row, boys, like up and about.
Travelling.
No, just giving the Hawks a chance here. I mean, I'm just realising that.
They haven't been good form.
I mean, being the leader of the competition, I probably won't tip the roughie, but there's a bit of form about the Hawks here to just not be tipping
So
them.
you're saying all this to say you're tipping Port?
It's not down in Tassie this week.
No.
Mate, the Hawks have been one of the best side this May.
Yeah, they have.
Then who are you going for, Wheels? You going for the Hawks, are you?
I reckon they should have a best on ground Sean Burgoyne award for this one. Don't you reckon? Go Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm going to tip Port.
Interesting how the Hawkers go.
I'm tipping Port. I just want to hear who Wheels was tipping before I.
Yeah. Well,
I thought you didn't put it in.
Yeah.
I'm going Port too. All right. Well, here's another one. God, there seems to be a few one-sided contests. I think the last 4 games of the round are pretty much one-sided. It's West Coast versus Melbourne at Optus Stadium. Steelo.
At Optus Stadium.
Ooh.
Does that really make a difference against West Coast?
How is Melbourne going to travel?
And West Coast got to bounce back after a loss.
They travel fine.
You know, a couple doubts just creeping into the Melbourne players' heads.
No, Melbourne up.
Well,
We had a nice trip to Adelaide this year. You know, we had a couple of weeks in Adelaide, based in Adelaide and Port Adelaide. We nailed them both. So
if you reckon they can get the job done, then I'm on the friend train.
we're on the friend. True.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'll jump all aboard the friend train there, Nathan.
Yeah, good man. Wheels.
Yeah, doesn't this one remind you of some good battles of the late 80s, early 90s?
Oh, Djakovic.
Great finals then. Wow.
Djakovic versus Djakovic.
Subo.
Oh, awesome footy. Gary Lyon, Jim Steins, all the legends. I'm going to tip Nam for the first game of the win. First game for a win this year, Nam.
You can sit next to me on the train, bro. Because that's where I am as well. Yeah, Melbourne.
Tipping Nam.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, those last 4 games pretty much, we all tipped lockstep, and I think everybody should. We'll see how it goes. Alright, with that, we're done with this week's game, so we'll move on to closing thoughts. Steelo, I'll start with you.
The closing thoughts this week. Oh, jeez. I don't have a lot. Just really stoked to see this week's footy. Like, last week was an awesome round, but this week's going to be even better. So I'm going to be glued to my seat. I'm actually, just reserved this weekend. So don't give me a call.
Oh, God, fine, why? Jeez.
Unless it's about footy.
Of course. Remy, who you got?
Look,
What we got?
just got a little shout out for Sammy's 30th this Saturday. Not sure if you've
happy
got the
birthday,
invite. Not sure if you got the invite here. Did you get the invite?
I didn't.
No.
I'm
Wheels?
still waiting for my invite, Sammy.
Must be surfing around.
No, but so she said she sent it out on Facebook, but obviously, she didn't send it. I don't know. But anyway, just inviting everyone out there listening to the Urban Ground on Saturday night in Mordialloc. Surfing Sammy's 30th, and if you can't be there in person, just be there in spirit and wish her a happy birthday on Saturday because it's her 30th.
So she obviously canned the idea of going to Byron Bay.
Well, that could be maybe an after party. Like who knows? Who knows what she's got planned? She's got back from Europe last week.
Of course, that's what the reasons do.
Is this going to be like one of those Corey Worthington level things?
The party?
Yeah,
well, it could be. Maybe.
Pascal?
Yeah, we could build it up to be Corey Worthington-esque style.
Could get wild.
But down the streets of Mordialloc, where there's been some beautiful artwork done across the... They had an art festival in the streets, and it's a very arty place, the Urban Ground. So, shall be a fantastic evening, and all sorts of company and people will be there.
We'll be mingling with some more footy fans.
Oh,
The ground's got a lot of
Apparently
different
they
colours and artwork on it.
yeah, it's all funky in there. Apparently they've cordoned off a section for us, all for Footians, because apparently more all for Footians may gather at once than have ever gathered for a pod.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, there is
We'll all be there.
whispered to have been numerous of 4 plus there. So,
Well, there we
yeah,
go. Well, I'll see you there, Wills.
could be huge.
That sounds pretty good.
Ryan, closing thoughts.
I'm just glad the doctor had a final thought ready. Good on you, mate.
You have him in the barrel. It's odd.
Mate, is he feeling all right? Do you want to check his temperature still for us?
Don't touch him.
Hey, he's the first one. You've got the finger on the pulse when it comes to parties.
Oh, mate. We'll all be there. Mine's... we've got the Oz Kick Extra on the Friday night at the Palm Beach Crumb and Lions. Little Louie's running around in the Lions Guernsey now, playing pracky matches and everything, so he's loving that. And the seniors are 6 straight. Actually, haven't lost a game yet, and they're tied up top with Morningside, the Panthers. So there's 2 sides undefeated, 6 games each. So absolutely smashing that competition. It's almost like the Scottish Premiership League with just 2 sides dominating. But
Wait, who are the Panthers?
You want to be
Morningside.
Morningside, okay.
You want to be wearing
so they're
maroon
both-
and gold up in Queensland, that's for sure.
They're both undefeated, but the Lions have the Surfers Paradise Demons, and they're sitting 4th this week. So some good footy coming up in the local regions. One more week till the Wheels of Fortune starts.
Oh, yes.
Coming.
I'm looking forward to this.
Make sure you
Written down
make
the
up all the
rules.
assets and send them over to me so I can put them on.
Yeah, I'll send for all the rules and everyone get involved in that. And Sunday is normally swimming day, but also I just hope for all the listeners out there, your team gets the W this week, guys.
And when does Currumbin play Morningside? Is it coming up in the next few weeks?
Yeah, I think it's about 4 weeks away, but I'll get back to you with that.
Nice. I might have to bring the pot up for that game. Yeah.
If you want to watch the games, they are all on YouTube as well.
Oh, nice. Oh, we'll be across it. That's good.
I'll send the link.
Link in chat. All right. Well, my closing thoughts. Bruce Rando taking the YouTube world by storm. Go over and follow him. He's streaming every Sunday. He's doing a hell of a job. Good old Bruce, my brother. And go give him a follow. Go give him a view. Hop in the chat. Say hi. He loves to chat. And
Loves it.
Loves it.
He's Mr. Big.
He's too big for this podcast apparently. But,
We should get him on one time.
Well, maybe.
Don't say that.
He's a bit too big for
That's
us.
not true.
All right.
Maybe you come on and wear a Zelda mask.
No, I don't think he has a Zelda mask. But he's a pretty cool guy. So, yeah.
There's no body shaming around here.
All right, well, with that, I'd say that's it from us at All Footy, and we're
He's on fire!